A guy in his mid 20s in America is sitting in a brand new car, parked outside a nice apartment building, holding the steering wheel like life is finally working out for him. On the outside, everything looks successful: clean clothes, new phone, good lifestyle, nice surroundings. But inside his bank account, there is less than $200 left until the next paycheck. And the crazy part is, this is becoming extremely common in the United States right now. A lot of people are not actually rich. They are just really good at looking rich, and that is what people now call fake rich. It is a lifestyle built on appearance, not wealth, confidence on the outside, but financial pressure on the inside. And most people don't even realize they are in it, because fake rich doesn't feel fake in the moment. It feels normal. It feels like life. Until one day, reality shows up in the form of bills, debt, or an emergency expense. And suddenly, the illusion breaks. In cities like Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and even smaller cities across America, this pattern is everywhere. Young professionals earning $60,000, $80,000, sometimes even $100,000 or more, still feeling broke at the end of every month. Not because they don't make money, but because their money is fully tied up in maintaining a lifestyle that looks successful from the outside. And there are clear signs when someone is stuck in this fake rich cycle. One of the biggest signs is when someone always looks upgraded, but never actually moves forward financially. Their life keeps getting newer things, but their savings account doesn't grow. Everything feels like an upgrade on the surface: a better car, a nicer apartment, newer gadgets, more expensive experiences. But behind the scenes, nothing is building. No investments, no emergency fund, no financial safety net, just higher monthly pressure. A real example of this comes from a young professional in California who had a solid tech job. From the outside, he looked extremely successful. He drove a newer car, lived in a modern apartment, and always had the latest tech. But when he got laid off unexpectedly, he realized he had less than 1 month of savings. Everything he was earning was already committed to his lifestyle. That's when the fake rich illusion broke completely. Another sign is when people avoid looking at their actual financial situation. They know their income, they know their lifestyle, but they don't really know their net worth, because deep down, they already suspect the answer won't feel good. So they delay checking bank accounts, they avoid budgeting, they ignore credit card statements, and instead, they focus on how life looks from the outside. That avoidance becomes a habit. And habits like that are dangerous because money problems don't disappear when ignored. They grow quietly in the background. Another strong sign of fake rich behavior is emotional spending. Spending not because something is needed, but because of how someone feels in that moment. Stress, boredom, pressure, comparison. All of these emotions quietly turn into purchases. In modern America, this is extremely common because spending is frictionless. With one tap, anything can be bought. And social media constantly shows people a version of life that feels normal, but is actually heavily curated. Someone scrolls through Instagram or TikTok and sees people traveling, dining out, upgrading their lifestyle constantly, and slowly that becomes a new standard in their mind. So even normal life starts to feel like it's not enough. And that's where the financial pressure begins, because trying to match a curated lifestyle with real income is always unsustainable for most people. Another sign is when someone's income goes up, but their stress level does not go down. In a healthy financial situation, making more money should slowly reduce pressure. But for fake rich lifestyles, it does the opposite. More income usually leads to more spending, and more spending leads to more obligations. So instead of gaining freedom, people just upgrade their financial stress to a higher level. They go from struggling at a low cost lifestyle to struggling at a high cost lifestyle. The pressure doesn't disappear. It just gets more expensive. Even something as simple as car ownership plays a big role in this. Many people in America finance cars that are way above what they can comfortably afford, not because they don't understand numbers, but because the monthly payment feels manageable in isolation. And once that payment is locked in, it becomes a permanent part of their financial life. Add rent, insurance, subscriptions, food, and other expenses. And suddenly, there is no room left to breathe. Everything is already allocated. Nothing is flexible. And flexibility is actually what defines real financial stability. Another subtle sign of fake rich behavior is when someone always feels like they are almost there, almost saving enough, almost starting investing, almost getting ahead, but never actually building momentum. Because every time progress begins, a lifestyle upgrade resets it. A raise comes in, and spending adjusts immediately. So the gap between income and wealth never closes. It just moves together, upward but stuck. And that is one of the most dangerous financial patterns in modern America because it feels like progress, but it is actually just movement without growth. There is also a psychological layer to all of this. Fake rich lifestyles are often tied to identity. People don't just spend money on things, they spend money on how they want to be perceived: successful, confident, established, independent. And once money becomes tied to identity, it becomes harder to reduce spending without feeling like you're losing a version of yourself. That's why many people struggle to downgrade their lifestyle even when they want to. It feels like going backwards in life, even if financially it would actually move them forward. And that emotional conflict keeps people stuck for years. But real wealth behaves differently. Real wealth is not about constant upgrades, it is about consistency, control, and long term thinking. Most genuinely wealthy people don't feel the need to constantly prove their success because their money is not all visible in their lifestyle. It is stored in assets, investments, and long term growth. And that difference is what separates appearance from reality. Now, the important question is, how do you break out of this fake rich cycle? The first step is awareness. Start observing your money without judgment. Not what it looks like, but what it is actually doing. Is your income creating savings or just maintaining lifestyle? Then slowly start separating identity from spending. Just because you earn a certain amount does not mean you need to spend like a certain image. Give yourself permission to live below your income level without feeling like you are failing. Because in reality, that is where financial progress begins. And finally, start building small but consistent financial habits. Even small investments, even small savings, even small reductions in unnecessary spending. Because the goal is not to suddenly change your entire life overnight. The goal is to slowly shift from looking rich to becoming financially stable in reality. And the people who understand this early usually don't look the richest in their 20s, but they are the ones who become truly free in their 30s and beyond.